So hi guys, here is my tutorial for this week. Object source lighting or OSL and other lighting effects. One of my favorite effects in miniature painting is when the artist uses paint to create the illusion of a light source which is not actually there. These lighting effects can be extremely fun and eye-catching, but they can also be very tricky to pull off. In this tutorial, I will outline a set of rules which, when followed, will make your depiction of light sources much more believable and impactful. I will also show you how a step-by-step painting process, which is one way you can follow these rules and achieve a good result. For example, in this case, I've used the airbrush to be quicker. To the extent that miniature painting is a genre of art, there are no hard and fast rules. However, when painting a miniature to simulate the behavior of a light source, you can try to create an illusion of something which is not really there. The light that you imagine being cast on your miniature from an object it's holding or from its environment. In order to create a convincing illusion, you must follow the same physical laws that govern how light behaves, or you risk spoiling the illusion because something will look off to the viewer. These rules about how light behaves are part of how you understand the world, but are often instinctive and subconscious. By taking these rules and making them explicit, it becomes easier to see when a lightning effect illusion is not working, understand why it's not working, and fix it. So, the rules of light physics are: number 1. Lit areas always appear brighter than surrounding unlit areas. This is the most important rule, but it's also the rule I see violated most frequently when portraying colored light sources, which is why I have chosen to call it the cardinal rule of OSL. Very frequently, I see people represent a yellow light source by painting the entire miniature as if the light source were not casting any light at all, and then glazing the areas around the light source with a thin translucent layer of yellow paint. This violates the cardinal rule of OSL, since the glazed areas are not lighter than the areas around them, and in fact are usually darker. And while the effect is not spoiled too much when people use yellow for this, it's completely destroyed when people choose a darker color for the light source, like green, red, or purple. If you are going to use the glazing approach, which can be a good one, it's important to highlight the areas where the light will fall before you glaze them. So number 2, lit areas appear no brighter than the light source they are lit by. This rule most commonly gives people trouble when painting light sources which are red or purple, since saturated purple or red colors appear darker in value compared with the other hues. If you are trying to simulate something like a red or purple neon sign or light silver, you are in a bit of a bind, since neon signs are themselves very saturated and also put out a lot of light. One way of resolving this is taking a cue from how photos of neon often appear, and where the tube itself is very light orange, pink, or white, but all of the reflected light has a characteristic neon red-orange color. The apparent color of an object is affected by both the color of the object itself and the color of the light falling on it. This is rule 3. This is the rule I struggle with the most, and the way I have stated it's somewhat vague and doesn't really tell you which color to use. There are a couple of ways to figure out what color to use. The best way is to use reference. Either find an image of a similar color of light falling on a similar color of object, or do an experiment with colored light sources or material in your home. This is recommended wherever possible. You can try other things, such as mixing the paints you are using for the material and the light together in varying ratios, but this gets tricky. For example, there's a difference between the yellow of a torch and which has a blue in it, and a yellow of a traffic light which does not. Rule number 4: light moves in straight lines. People normally get this one right. This doesn't mean you have to follow the model exactly. You can combine the light source illusion with trompe-l'oeil illusion to show how the light interacts with detail which is not physically sculpted on the model, but which you are simulating to paint. The last but not least, rule number 5: the strength of the light diminishes with distance from the object. People normally get this one right too. Note that there is a difference between how these people interact with matter materials like cloth and reflective ones like metal. With clothes, the increase in lightness due to the cast light diminishes with distance. With reflective materials, the apparent lightness diminishes less, and not at all for highly polished material like chrome, but the reflections themselves are smaller. So rules 1, 2, and 3 are the ones that people get wrong most often. I normally see people getting rules 4 and 5 right, or if they violate them, they seem to have sensible reasons. So as you could see here, I'm airbrushing first with a darker color and then with a lighter one. I'm using the airbrush, which makes it easier and quicker. Bear in mind that once you've chosen the angle from where your source light comes from, you don't have absolutely to move around that angle, or the effect won't work as it should do. So once the 2 layers are applied, I'll start fixing and lighten the max lights with the brush until I reach a result that satisfies me. I really hope you enjoyed the tutorial. It was quick and easy, even for beginners, so just have fun painting with this cool effect and make your meaning even more particular. Thanks for watching.